So let's take a look at Warrior and the ways that you can build them. The nice thing about Warriors is that they're very focused in terms of what they do. They're there to basically either deal massive amounts of damage or take massive amounts of damage, and in an ideal case, both. The key statistics you'll want to be focusing on with Warrior are, of course, strength to dish out the damage, dexterity to maybe miss a few of those hits and make sure you're accurate, and of course, high constitution because it translates directly into how healthy your character is, meaning that they can take more punishment. With the Warrior's talents, it's key to make sure that you really decide what kind of warrior you want to play. Now, there's a number of different builds. We're going to focus on two for you today. With the classic sword and shield build, you're a straight-up defender. You're able to hold as many enemies' attention as you can, and we're going to take a look at some key talents that will help you do that. Many of them lie in the warrior tree. First off, you want to make sure that you're running Threaten. It's a sustained ability that will actually keep the attention focused on you. And whenever anything breaks away and starts pounding on the weaker members of the party, you're going to want to make sure that you have Taunt. It's an activated ability, pulls everyone right back to you. Some other key defenses, of course, lie in the sword and shield tree. You'll be starting with Shield Bash. That's a nice basic offensive ability. But some key ones actually lie in that middle channel where you'll find Shield Defense and Shield Wall, and two talents that actually benefit them, making them stronger and more effective. Balancing between these two talents can actually let you adjust to very accurate enemies or enemies who do lots of damage. And finally, at the bottom of that third tree there, you'll actually see Shield Mastery. With it, every sword and shield ability you have gains some small bonus. It is one of the most powerful abilities, and certainly a good reason for you to build your dexterity up to 26, which is one of those things you're going to have to keep an eye out for when you're building this type of character. Of course, a lot of times when you're playing a warrior, you just want to be on the front lines kicking as much ass as you possibly can, and that's fair. What we want to build for you is a warrior that's exceptional at two-handed weapons. One of the most key abilities for you is going to be Death Blow. Two-handed swords are heavy, they take a lot of your stamina, but with Death Blow, every kill you get is going to restore a little bit of it. That means you can keep swinging a lot harder, a lot longer. On top of that, you'll want to make sure you focus on the two-handed weapon abilities. With them, you'll actually be able to make yourself completely immune to knockdown and stun effects by taking Indomitable. That's one of your key abilities as this type of character, meaning you can keep dishing out the damage. On top of that, you want to make sure you're looking at some of the other heavier attacks, and two-handed sweep is one of the key ones there, allowing you to dish out damage in an AoE, kind of a cone in front of you, sending guys flying. Warriors are made and broken by their armor and equipment, and every warrior is going to want to get their hands on the Juggernaut suit of armor. It not only provides excellent physical resistance, but also allows you to shrug off elemental damage, meaning many spells are going to do less damage to you. To get it, you'll want to come here to the Brazilian Forest and keep an eye out for these tombstones. To begin the quest that gets you the Juggernaut armor, you're going to want to come here to this north-central part of the East Brazilian Forest, and then head out and look for the other tombstones that are scattered around the two different areas. Each piece of the Juggernaut armor is guarded by a group of undead, led by a revenant. This means you're in for one hell of a fight. You'll want to make sure that your party's spread out and cleared away. Only the toughest of your characters should be up close and fighting hand-to-hand with the revenant. Keep an eye on your equipment as well, and the way you've enchanted your weapons and the kind of spells that you're using. Bringing cold damage to this fight won't do you any favors. All of the undead that are present are going to be shrugging off that damage as if it were nothing. The revenant dead, you'll have your first piece of the Juggernaut armor, but don't get complacent. You've got two more fights of roughly this difficulty ahead of you before you can collect the whole set, except for the chest piece, and we'll get to that next. The final piece of the Juggernaut armor is located in a series of elven ruins at the center of the forest. Without spoiling it too much, you'll need to come here and perform a ritual in order to acquire access to it. Keep an eye out for a tablet that's in a nearby room near a pool of water. If you find that, it'll give you step-by-step instructions on the ritual you have to perform. Once you've performed the ritual, you gain access to a burial chamber, which is guarded by a powerful spirit, and in there, you'll be able to find the final and most central piece of the Juggernaut armor.